came to you for a loan.
You're my brother. Have I ever gotten you anything that I couldn't get you out of?
Lock everything down.
We're just trying to get home.
We don't get to walk off into the sunset.
I have a plan!
Are you having fun today?
So
Yeah.
good.
Always fun with Yahya. Always fun with Yahya.
Always.
You guys seem like you're having a lot of fun on the press tour. Are you sick of each other yet?
Yes.
No, actually we should. Oh, yes.
No, we're not. We're not even near. We're not even. He won't even let me in the room with him. I'm in the room next door. It's like.
Hey.
Now he's being cool about it. Now he's cool about it because we're on camera. But before he was like, I don't want Jake in the same room. So
Tell us what an audience is going to love about Ambulance.
There's a story about brotherhood. I think, but also, Michael Bay, he has a following. I think the people who love his movies, who love, the big action sequences, the drama, sometimes the melodrama. I think they'll love the soundscape of it. And be able to see LA showcased on the screen like a classic Los Angeles heist movie with a lot of heart. At the center of it as well.
I mean, this is the reason to go to the movies, It's just like huge, and the sound and the image is all tailored for the big screen experience. So to me, that's the reason why you do it. And also just because it's like, it just doesn't stop. The movie doesn't stop. It is the craziest chase I've seen in movies in a very long time. I actually also think the characters are really great. They're all in very morally compromised, interesting positions. And I think it allows for great drama. So it's kind of got it all for your fun theatrical experience.
And what does working with Michael Bay look like? How's that different to other sets that you've worked on?
It looks like every single action scene in a Michael Bay movie. That's what it looks like. It looks a little bit like the scene where we shoot up all the gangsters in the movie. That's what working with Michael Bay looks like.
Yeah, it really feels like every shot is just full of adrenaline. How do you guys get hyped up for that and then come down at the end of the day?
Michael Bay.
It's like you do whatever the director's doing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Michael's energy is the energy of the scene. It's the energy of the film. And that's whether intense moment, or a really intimate moment. Michael is very much a mirror of what's going on the screen. And then other than that, sometimes you just got to get out and do some push-ups and some jumping jacks and run around a couple times just to make sure that you get, the adrenaline up, as you say. How do I wind down? Take a nice slow drive home. Do the opposite of what I've been doing all day. Take the long way home and go back home and get ready to do it the next day.
You're not doing any meditating together?
Oh, a little bit. Yahya is really does do his meditation, which I really respect. I mean, the thing about it is that Michael has a lot of energy, and he brings all that energy, and it is infectious. And then he also is very playful. Mm-hmm. So, I think there's like a sense in working with him that's like, even though it's very high and like very intense, it's also full of play. So it's interesting. It's very relieving too, Oftentimes I'd come home not like amped up. I'd come home, I'd fall right to bed. So
you mentioned the camera work is so intimate and it really helps the intensity of the film. And Jake, I heard that you were even working on the camera at one point. What was that like? Well,
I mean, I wasn't, but there was a moment in shooting that the ambulance is so small that Michael was trying to get coverage on Yahya while he was driving, and we were on a live street and the light was going down, and he wanted an angle from where I was. But since we were actually driving, he just handed me the camera and I shot Yahya's coverage. And then people have said it's gone from everything to you shot some of the movie to you directed sequences in the movie. The questions that we've gotten about this are pretty funny, but it's
co-directed by Jake.
Right. But that's what happened.
There's some really sexy cars in this film. Did you get to drive any?
No. I didn't get to drive any of them.
None of them in Danny's garage, or?
No, we weren't allowed to touch those cars.
That was pretty impressive.
We literally weren't allowed to touch those cars. I was scared to look at them. Do not touch any of the cars. Like, that was an explicit direction. I was like, because we were shooting in a private garage. That's somebody's actual cars. All those cars are their cars. So they let Michael shoot in there as a favor. And one of the rules was no one was allowed to get anywhere near the cars.
I was thinking that's where most of the budget must have gone, on those like really impressive cars.
No, I think the movie was shot very quickly, and Michael was very run and gun shooting on this, and so he pulled a lot of favors. Like a lot of, we closed down a highway, or he closed down a highway at some point. And I said, "How do you do it?" And he's like, "I know some people." So there are things like that. Things like that happen a lot with him, because I think he's poured a lot into the infrastructure, making huge movies he's made, into particularly in LA. And so people were helping all along.
Michael Bay just gets it done, huh?
He does. We've lost Yahya. I don't know where
I know,
he is.
poor thing. And I've only got a couple of minutes left. So
if you want me to answer some questions for him, I probably know what he's going to say.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask him about the stunt driving, but you said you didn't get to do any stunt driving.
Every time he was in an ambulance and I didn't have to be there, I'm sort of always about safety over everything. So I'm like, I'm out of here.
So in real life, would you be driving the getaway car, or would you be the passenger?
I mean, it depends on the situation, but I think I would hopefully not be in the getaway car.
Officers down in front of the bank. Automatic weapons being fired.
Easy. You want to drive or can I drive?